Hi, I'm Bill Clark. I'm Global Vice President of Mobile Strategy at SAP. And today I'm joined by Hervé Ploeg, Vice President of Precision Marketing at SAP. Thank you for joining us today, Hervé.
Good morning, Bill, and thanks for having me on the program.
Today's program is about precision marketing. So we'd love to get your insights. A little background on precision marketing is that in the bigger context of mobile, there's been an evolution from bricks and mortar to e-commerce, to mobile commerce, and now with precision marketing, we're looking at context-aware commerce.
Bill, we're changing the world, changing the consumer world by putting the right information in the hand of the right consumer at the right time. And one of the key to success is really understanding consumer context, understanding who you are, where you are, what your interests are, to deliver that relevant information. Gone are the days where we would bombard you with random information, and the burden was on you, the consumer, to figure out what was of value. The world of tomorrow, that concept of one-to-one marketing, is really about engaging with the consumer at the point of decision, empowering the consumer with relevant information that's context-based, and more importantly, driving behavior through that interaction.
And this isn't new. This is a great new concept for SAP, but SAP's been playing in this space for a while. Talk about a little bit of the background.
Absolutely. SAP has a long heritage in that field. I mean, we have cutting-edge solutions that started in retail banking, and telecommunications, typically SMS-based solutions, mobile payment. We've acquired a number of capabilities in different areas. Strengthened our capabilities in the mobile space. We've developed in-memory database, which really allows the company to process huge volumes of information in real time. And we've really strengthened our BI, predictive analysis capabilities, because these are some of the fundamental ingredients that you need to meet our client expectations. Another important investment that was made by the company is around the cloud. New delivery model. Our clients have a choice. They can deploy solutions on-premise or in the cloud. And what we've learned over the past 2 years is that in the consumer space, the cloud is a very attractive option to really move at that speed and meet consumer expectations.
Fascinating about the consumer, but one of the things that comes up around these kinds of offerings is around privacy. So how do we get the consumers comfortable, and how is SAP innovating around this area?
Be a very important component of success, making sure you address privacy concerns. Now, what we found in the different deployments around the world was 3 things as it relates to consumer behavior. They're more than happy to share that information, provided they see a return on investment. Investment being, I share information with you, what do I get in return? That's instant gratification for really sharing more information. The second is, it's about trust. Not everybody can engage with the consumer. Not every company around the world has the brand image and the unbiased attitude or behavior that drive trust. The third one is about access to information you store about me. I want to know what kind of information you collect. And don't give me those 10 pages of disclaimer, the opt-in with the text that nobody reads. I need to be able to access the information very easily. And this is why we've adopted what we call a principle. It's called privacy by design, that really enables the consumer to go into the system and be able to set his privacy settings in a matter of seconds.
So the privacy by design is built into the use model.
Very important, and this was a driving force behind the architecture and the characteristic features and functionalities that we've built into the solution.
Excellent, excellent. So now let's take that, we've talked about the privacy angle here, so let's take it back to bricks and mortar. So we've been talking about these mobile use cases, but how is this actually going to affect, one of the cases that you talked about is walking into the store?
Here it starts from really the value proposition to the consumer. If you want to drive behavior, you have to give that incentive to the consumer to engage with you. So once the consumer has launched the application based on the expectation that that they'll get immediate value in the form of an offer, for instance, then I can maintain that interaction throughout the shopping cycle. You need to engage with the consumer, maintain that consumer active and interested in having that dialogue. So once the consumer entered the store, it shifts from raising awareness around product and promotion to making sure that we help you save time and money around your shopping list.
So this is like an insurance policy against showrooming. It prevents the consumers from slipping away.
Yeah, the risk and the pain that the retailers and merchants feel around showrooming can be addressed with precision marketing. The idea is to acknowledge that every single consumer has different needs and that the shopping experience is a lot more than simply going for the lowest possible price. There are many other elements, especially as the consumer gets closer to the product and a transaction. That interaction can really sway the behavior and offer compelling value to the consumer so that the consumer takes an action when he's holding the product in your store, as opposed to leaving the store and procrastinating about the purchase and having to wait another 10 days to get the product at the house.
Right, right. So again, coming back all the way around to the bigger picture is the e-commerce and mobile commerce and bricks and mortar all coming together.
Yeah, experience is really the key word. Value is driven by experience. And this is why, even if 20 years ago you could state that e-commerce would conquer the world, the reality is e-commerce today represents 10-15% of retail. Brick and mortar stores have been here for centuries. The future is bright. It's a matter of how can I change the in-store experience by bringing information and technology to really change the perceived value of visiting the store. It's a great antidote to e-commerce.
Great, great. So this is fascinating background on some of the things we've learned, but let's dig into specific customer scenarios that you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, I've mentioned grocery, but we've thoughtfully supported or enabled players in different verticals. So we work with a large cosmetics company, for instance, so very different environment, where consumer experience means very different things. And here the use case that our client has defined for us as being the starting point in that digital journey was, I have two assets. I spend hundreds of millions of dollars in printed advertising with beautiful spokes model. I also have in-store virtual makeup kiosks. How can I stitch those two assets, existing assets, to deliver a new experience? And the way it works is fairly straightforward. Consumer is exposed to printed advertising. All it takes for them to get rich product information and potentially a special offer, which could be a free makeup session, for instance, is to point to the printed advertising. We use visual search. We make sense of what you're looking at or what you're interested in. And in one click, what appears on your screen is your face with that makeup. Then we're able to give you more information about the product should you be interested in the way you look on that mobile screen. And if that triggers your interest, we can send you to the closest store. Now, once you're in that store, we give you access to virtual makeup on a kiosk. The way these kiosks work is you grab a product in the aisle, you stand in front of that kiosk, scan the product, and what you get is that interactivity where you can not only see the impact of that makeup, but also add related products. And right there and then, you can confirm the transaction. We give you the terms of that offer for the whole bundle, and you can save money at the cash register and basically have that brand new look available, and you're a satisfied customer.
Those are great examples in retail. What about beyond retail?
Now we have another project which is really exciting. It's not strictly related to retail, but we're enabling an ecosystem with the City of Montreal. Here, the objective of the Transportation Authority for the City of Montreal is really to increase ridership. Increase ridership by changing consumer experience. And the way they do it is by connecting 1.2 million commuters to their environment, to the city. Not only to shops or merchants, but also to events and to a number of restaurants. Today we have 200 restaurants involved.
So it's really cultivating this whole ecosystem.
It's really making sure that the consumer is aware and that we put in the hand of the consumer relevant information based on your location, based on your profile, your preferences, based on your interest. So we established that dialogue, that one-to-one relationship at the point of decision for the benefit of both parties. Relevance to the consumer, ability to inform and influence behavior for the merchant.
Fascinating. So two great examples here. One of the cosmetic where it's the ecosystem in the store. The other one is the greater with the ridership of City of Montreal. It's the ecosystem of the city.
A mobile phone, you carry your mobile phone 24/7. You
Right.
can be in your living room, you can be in the street, you can be in a store. You always need that genie in the bottle that will really help you find the right option and save time and money. Every consumer is driven by those three elements. What's right for me, help me save time and money.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the key element of that genie is it's a very precise genie, right? It's not an annoying genie. It's a genie that's dialed right into the kind of things that you need.
Absolutely. The consumer is in control. And one of the challenges is if you want the answer in less than a second, this means you shift the burden of extracting the answer from the consumer that's browsing through a lot of information to the service provider that needs to leverage system of records to extract that needle in the haystack. And this is really what we deliver, is that marketing content platform that will deliver relevance to the consumer, leveraging the investment that our clients have made in system of records, all the acronyms you're familiar with.
So what are the pillars of SAP's strategy around enabling precision marketing?
So our client BL want a solution. They want an end-to-end solution, not just another piece of software that they need to install and maintain. So really SAP strategy was to meet that client aspiration and come with three pillars, three components that are absolutely critical in delivering that new consumer experience. First, it's around the mobile app, being able to develop those cool-looking mobile apps that consumers can use day in and day out. And for this, SAP has a broad set of solutions, mobile application platform, and all the tools you need to develop that mobile app.
So whether it's a mobile web app or a native application, whatever you need.
Correct.
Right, okay.
The second component is that marketing engine. This is an enterprise application delivered as a service to ensure, speed of execution and flexibility that ties into your system of records, CRM system, your profile, ERP product. And here we leverage the full capability of in-memory database. This is big data, speed is of the essence, the major strategic investment by the company in in-memory database and delivering that new experience.
So you have optimized mobile, you have an optimized marketing engine, and what's the third pillar?
The third one, which is as important as the first two, is around analytics, predictive analytics. Make sense of all that information I collect on consumer behavior, not only to understand your past behavior, that's interesting, but more important is to extrapolate or understand what that means for future interactions. So predictive analytics is a major effort, major initiative underway at SAP with some cutting-edge solutions that really allow us to do wonders for our clients.
And SAP bundles all of these together into one end-to-end solution.
This is a key to success. In the consumer space, if with clients that put the emphasis on flexibility, agility, and speed of action, the consumer speed, you need to have that end-to-end solution and basically shift the burden of technology and individual components from our client to SAP. And this is a challenge that we gladly accept, and this is basically the essence of the company and its capabilities.
And what about staging this? In a previous conversation we were talking about sometimes there's a relationship here between big data and analytics and mobile. So talk about maybe your experiences in seeing that to fruition with some of our clients.
Yeah, it starts, being consumer-centric. It starts with what are we trying to achieve? And if the objective is to put the right answer in the hand of the consumer in the right context in less than a second, and you think about what it means in terms of implementation, then it taps into all the key pillars that you just mentioned. You need the mobile expertise, you need clearly in-memory database, being able to process a huge amount of data and extract that needle in the haystack. It's about cloud. We're trying to move at consumer speed here. And when you look at the standard deployment for a solution on-premise, it's, our customers, our clients have to think hard about what's the most effective way to move at consumer speed, offer that agility, and not simply build a point solution, but have a platform, a marketing platform that can be delivered as a service in the cloud, so that you constantly meet consumer expectations, consumer aspirations, in a mode that is, learn and test and learn. Test and learn is the key, and the use case is a great way to implement that approach. Probe, test, learn, move fast.
Great. So we greatly appreciate you spending some time with us today, Hervé. If there was just a couple of things that you could net out in terms of key elements, what would they be?
I think first and foremost, you have to be genuine about consumer centricity. It's more than a buzzword. The thinking and the thought process of your organization has to start with the consumer. Not necessarily what you'd like the consumer to hear, but first ask yourself, what are the needs of the consumer? The second is, it's a great opportunity for different departments to collaborate, to work together. The key to success is putting in the same room the marketing department with the IT department, and have those two organizations really combine the most brilliant brains, eager to satisfy and meet the expectation of the consumer, to come up with the right use case, and then in terms of implementation, making sure that we move at consumer speed.